told the Catholic nominee that, quote, "the dogma lives loudly within you, and that's of concern." Are there instances in which the judge's religious convictions should be taken into account when considering whether the judge is qualified?
I thought we got away from religious tests. So, not really. Not only that, I don't think that I know a single judge who has allowed religion to interfere with their jobs. Because I remember having these discussions with Justice Scalia, who was a practicing Catholic, obviously. And he felt the way I did, that it would be a violation of his oath to somehow allow his faith to displace the law, because we took an oath to enforce the law and interpret it impartially. And he took that very seriously. And if you want to look at one way it works out, look how it backwashes in this jurisprudence. He thought you had no right to come up with theories that allowed your personal opinions to seep into the law. Mm-hmm. So you will see him not liking substantive due process, not liking multi-factor tests that allow you to have whatever outcome you want, totality of the circumstances. He wanted things where the law leads you to the conclusion, right, not allows you to impose your personal views. So both of us, and I feel very strongly that we have no right to do that. But similarly, I think it's illegitimate for others to do that. And just as an aside, I think it's really interesting that people in a profession where we all take an oath, that they would look at people who have strong faith as somehow not good people, when if you're an atheist, what does an oath mean? If you are a Christian and you believe in God, what does an oath mean? Mm-hmm. You know, do you say at the end of it, "So help me God"? Mm-hmm. And you have taken an oath to God. And as Mother Teresa said, it's between you and God. So you have given your word. It's one thing, I give my word to you, which I would keep. Mm-hmm. But when you give your word to God, is that special? And I think if you are faithful, you think it is special. And you work doubly hard to make sure you live up to it. And so I don't think, not only doesn't it interfere or in any way, and it actually enhances your view of the oath. And second thing I would say about faith is that this business, particularly in Washington, is a tough place. I've been in these jobs now for almost 40 years. Justice Scalia asked me one time, Clarence, I had left the church in 1968. He said, why did you come? And I left the seminary, I left the church, I stopped going to church, I was bordering anti-religious. He said, what brought you back? And I said, life. I said, I ran away in 68 and crawled back in 93. I think faith allows you, it gives you the strength to do it the right way. It gives you an outlook that shows you your place in the universe, as opposed to thinking that you are the anointed, that you are called to do this job and to do it in a certain way. But it's not you. You are not God. You may have taken an oath to God, but you are not God. Right. And I think the danger in that building, if you do not have humility or find it someplace, your ego can really expand quickly. Right. I mean, you've been there. It is the marble palace. It is a dangerous place. And I think you need to, I go to Mass in the morning before I go to work. And someone said, why do you do that? I think when you start on your knees, if you start the day on your knees, you approach your job differently from when you start thinking that somebody anointed you to impose your will on others. There's something about being on your knees. It's hard to think that, well, you are superior when you're on your knees. So I think faith actually allows you and strengthens you, encourages you, sustains you, and orders your life in a way that you do your job better.
Well, thank you for that. I agree. On Valentine's Day, February 14th this year, I got a call from